What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mellon. You're listening to the Entertainment Report for Monday, September 8th, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMLO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Joan Rivers received a send-off worthy of a Hollywood legend Sunday morning. Howard Stern delivered the eulogy Sunday at the New York's Temple Emmanuel as some of the biggest names in television, theater, and fashion gathered to say goodbye to the 81-year-old comedienne. Other attendees included the late entertainer's Fashion Police co-stars Kelly Osbourne and Juliana Rancid, Donald Trump, Whoopi Goldberg, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Griffin, Rosie O'Donnell were also there, along with broadcasters Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, Deborah Norville, Kathy Lee Gifford, and Hoda Cobb, and fashion designer Michael Kors. Theater veterans Bernadette Peters and Alan Cumming attended as well. Rivers' daughter Melissa read a heartfelt letter to her mother and told everyone she appreciated their support. As the funeral got underway at 11 a.m., the New York City Police Department Emerald Society bagpipers could be seen outside the temple. Six-time Tony Award winner Audra McDonald sang Smile. Tony winner Hugh Jackman performed the Peter Allen song Quiet Please, There's a Lady on Stage, and the New York City Gay Men's Choir belted out a string of Broadway hits. After the service, Whoopi Goldberg tweeted, Joan Rivers given a truly funny, truly loving send-off by folks who loved her, funny, and deeply moving, much like her. According to the Associated Press, 3 of Rivers' famous lines were printed on the funeral program. Can we talk? Who are you wearing? And because I'm a funny person. The celebrity-filled send-off completed with a red carpet was exactly what Rivers would have wanted. In her book, I Hate Everyone, Starting With Me, the comedienne said she wanted her funeral to be, quote, a huge showbiz affair with lights, cameras, and action, in Hollywood all the way. Rivers died Thursday following complications from throat surgery. She was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital in New York on August 28th and had been on life support. TMZ has announced that it will release new details on Tuesday morning to prove that the NFL knew about the 4-month hotel elevator video that shows Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice punching his then-fiancee Janay Palmer and knocking her unconscious. The two have since married. TMZ's founder Harvey Levin spoke to WTTG Fox 5 in Washington, D.C. about the video on Monday evening, saying that the NFL, quote, turned a blind eye, end quote, to the surveillance video, insisting that they knew it existed. He said they didn't do anything to look at this video. It was no secret that she was pulled out of an elevator unconscious, and the NFL, it almost feels like they didn't want to know, and that's really bad. After the video was posted to TMZ on Monday, the Baltimore Ravens terminated Rice's contract. Shortly after that, NFL Commissioner Roger Goddell handed down an indefinite suspension based on, quote, the new video evidence. The league insisted it had not seen the video prior to Monday. Levin says authorities had this video. Rice ended up getting a slap on the wrist in terms of a criminal case and virtually nothing until the video came out in terms of the NFL. The only reason all of this happened today is that they were backed into a corner because we put the video up on the website. When asked for comment, NFL spokesperson Greg Alio told the Wrap, of course we knew there was a video from an elevator in a casino. We said this morning we asked law enforcement for it. Security for Atlantic City casinos is handed by the New Jersey State Police. Any videos related to an ongoing criminal investigation are held in the custody of the state police. As we said earlier today, we request from law enforcement any and all information about the incident, including the video from the inside the elevator. That video was not made available to us, and no one in our office has seen it until today. He also adds, we've spoken to multiple sources at Revel Casino, which of course is now closed, but we've spoken to people who were working there at the time, and we are assured that there were people from the NFL who came and saw the video. So now the question becomes how much of that information got back to Roger Goodell, and did he ever see an actual copy of the video? Television personality Keith Olbermann called for the firing or resignation of NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in a pointed, angry takedown on his ESPN2 show. Olbermann focused on a graphic elevator video that shows running back Ray Rice brutally assaulting his then-fiancee Janay Palmer. The outspoken host said Monday on Olbermann, Mr. Goodell is an enabler of men who beat women. His position with the National Football League is no longer tenable. The commissioner was widely criticized for giving Rice just a 2-game suspension after the initial video of the player drag Palmer from an elevator was released. Goddell has since admitted that punishment was not harsh enough. The cable host's finger-pointing didn't stop there. Olbermann accused numerous other league officials, the entire Baltimore Ravens organization who terminated the running back's contract earlier Monday, and local prosecutors tasked with making the case against the football star of dropping the ball. He said, intentionally or by neglect, the Atlantic County, New Jersey District Attorney's Office, the Baltimore Ravens, and National Football League Commissioner Roger Goddell have conducted a cover-up of Ray Rice's brutal assault of his then-fiancee on February 15th. There is no other conclusion possible. Each body, each leading individual involved came to a judicial conclusion about what happened to Janay Palmer and what should happen to Ray Rice. He also adds, and each through the deception and incompetence misled the public, damaged the efforts of every man and every woman in this country seeking to merely slow down the murderous epidemic of domestic violence, and made a mockery of the process by which those who battered those they claim to love are to be brought to justice. Olbermann insists the moves are either too late or too little. He continued, not one of them, no matter what actions were taken today against Rice, nor what might be taken in the future, none of them have any remaining credibility, and each must leave or be expelled from their current position. That's when Olbermann called for the commissioner's resignation, reiterating his stance from last month. Roger Goodell's existence, who he is, what he has turned the NFL commissioner's office into, is now symbolized by Ray Rice's brutal left hand striking Janay Palmer and striking her again, he said before calling Goddell an enabler of domestic violence. Olbermann had harsh words for Rice, too. And I accused Ray Rice of a brutal and potentially deadly assault followed not by admission or contrition, but a pious, self-serving, insincere, cynical, devious, manipulative, unapologetic performance to protect his job and his money at the expense of the truth, at the expense of the public, at the expense of the next woman he brutalizes, the sports commentator said. He also adds he has already had his second chance. This new video shows he has already squandered it. Ray Rice may never be allowed to back in a National Football League uniform. Cher has postponed several upcoming tour dates after doctors diagnosed her with an acute viral infection, one of her representatives told The Wrap on Monday. The believed singer is on the mend, but she's been forced to reschedule the 2 opening stops of her Dress to Kill tour, second leg in Albany, New York, and Manchester, New Hampshire. Instead of taking the stage, the 68-year-old will be resting up at home. The 2 shows have been postponed until early October, with the singer now set to perform in Albany on August 6th and Manchester on August 7th. She's expected to play in Allentown, Pennsylvania on September 15th. And some sad news, Chicago Fire actress Molly Glynn died this weekend after getting caught in a fast-moving storm during a Friday afternoon bike ride in Chicago. Glynn, who is also a veteran stage actress, was on a bike ride with her husband Joe Faust when a fast-moving storm uprooted a tree near the path they were traveling. According to the Chicago Tribune, Faust said that he and Glynn would bike frequently together. On Friday, they were riding on their favorite biking trail, the North Branch, or about 25 miles into the ride, heading south on the trail when the weather suddenly changed around 3 p.m. as they approached Willow Road. It was harsh and quick, said Faust, who had been married to Glynn for about 4 years. Glynn, who was riding behind Faust, yelled that the 2 should take cover. A split second, Faust said he heard a loud crack and saw a tree fall down behind him in the rearview mirror of his bicycle. One of the branches hit Faust's back, but he said he is doing fine. He said Glynn wore a helmet. Glynn died from her injuries Saturday in the hospital. She was 46. Faust wrote in a Facebook message, I couldn't save her. Michael Haberstrom, the artistic director at Chicago's Writers Theater, told CBS Molly was a marvelous actress and a completely warm-hearted and generous human being. She had great sophistication and a sparkling, sexy, sassy stage presence. He also added she could transform from a princess to a flower girl in the twinkle of an eye. She was a loving mother and wife, and everyone who met her fell in love with her. Faust wrote Sunday that her organs will be donated. And some other sad news, Simone Battle, a U.S. X Factor finalist and a member of pop group G.R.L, was found dead in her West Hollywood home on Friday. The singer was 25. TMZ reports Battle was found hanging on a rod in the closet of her bedroom at around 8:30 a.m. on Friday. A spokeswoman for the LAPD could not confirm the details of Battle's death when the rapper reached out for comment. Battle's record company, however, confirmed her passing and released a statement in the media. A joint statement from Reindeer Entertainment, Kemosabe Records, and RCA read, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic news of the loss of Simone Battle of G.R.L. Simone was an exceptionally young, talented human being, and we are all devastated to learn of her passing. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family and loved ones at this time." The Los Angeles coroner's office have not yet responded to the rap's request for comment either. TMZ reports that while her death appears to be a suicide, the autopsy has not been completed yet, so a cause of death has not been officially determined. Battle competed on the first season of the U.S. version of Simon Cowell's X Factor, which ran on Fox for 3 seasons. The Los Angeles native made it to the top 17th in the girls category before being eliminated after the first live performance. She joined Pussycat Dolls founder Robin Attin's latest music project, G.R.L, in August 2012. The group released their latest single, Ugly Hard, off their debut self-titled EP in June. Previously, the girls group was featuring Pitbull's Wild Wild Love and had their first single, Vacation, included on the soundtracks for The Smurf 2. A cruel practical joke made headlines this week when an autistic Cleveland teenager, believing he was participating in the ALS Ice Bucket challenge, instead had a mixture of urine, feces, spit, and cigarette butts dumped on his head. Now comedian and amateur law enforcement agent Drew Carey is looking for answers. Carey, also a Cleveland native, offered on Saturday to contribute $10,000 to a reward fund run by the Bay Village Police. The local force has reportedly been investigating the cruel prank since the boys' parents alerted them to the video last week. Police say Friday that they are working with the local high schools, quote, analyzing the device used to record the video, interviewing witnesses, determining exactly when and where this occurred, and identifying those involved. They believe the video was made in a student's home prior to the start of the school year. Carey also pledged on Twitter that he will donate the money to Autism Speaks if the police turn down his offer. In a Reddit AMA to promote his new movie, The Equalizer, Denzel Washington was asked whether he'd like to be the next actor in line to play James Bond, and the response was widely enthusiastic. Washington wrote, "The next James Bond? They better hurry up. Yes, I would. Who's doing James Bond now? Daniel Craig? Did they shoot another one? Everyone should tweet Denzel as James Bond and send it to the studios. We start the Denzel as Bond campaign today. James Washington, Denzel Bond." Unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for the hashtag Denzel's James Bond hashtag to explode on Twitter. Whether the powers that be will respond by offering Denzel the 007 mantle remains to be seen. Right now, they're still trying to round out the cast of the next Bond movie starring Daniel Craig, but he should probably start practicing his English accent just in case. Bill Murray won't be appearing in the upcoming Ghostbusters 3, which is likely to feature a female-centric plot. Instead, he has offered up his top picks for the job. In a recent interview with the Toronto Star, Murray suggested Melissa McCarthy, his co-star in the upcoming film St. Vincent, would be a good fit for a role in the next Ghostbusters flick. He also mentioned a few more of our favorite comediennes. He told the Star during the Toronto Film Festival this weekend, Melissa would be a spectacular Ghostbuster, and Kristen Wiig is so funny. God, she's funny. I like this girl, Linda Cardinelli from Mad Men a lot, and Emma Stone is funny. There are some funny girls out there. Murray may actually be on something with his funny female picks. Paul Feig, the director of Bridesmaids, which starred both Wiig and McCarthy, is currently in negotiations to helm the next chapter of the Ghostbusters saga, according to reports. Speaking to HuffPost Live host Ricky Calamari on September 5th, Reitman says he's fairly certain Feig will get the job. And finally, the weekend after Labor Day has been historically slow at the box office, and this year theaters' receipts have been particularly moribund. In total, it looks like as if the multiplex will take a huge drop from last year's $84 million. That weekend was buoyed by Vin Diesel's Riddick, making over $19 million in its opening week. Diesel plays a bet much smaller of this year's post-Labor Day winner, as well as Marvel Disney's Guardians of the Galaxy will retain its title for the fourth week, being number one at the box office with an estimated $10.16 million this weekend. The winning weekend puts the James Gunn directed space adventure at $294 million domestic since it was released at the beginning of August. Guardians star Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Dave Bautista, with help from Diesel and Bradley Cooper, has made over $586 million globally, with $43 million coming from the UK and $36 million from Russia. It will open next week in Japan and on October 10th in China. Second place goes to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which stuffed $6.5 million into its half shell to bring its domestic total to $174 million. It is up to over $280 million worldwide. If I Stay, the Warner Brothers YA Weeper starring Chloe Grace Moretz made $5.75 million, taking its three-week total to just under $40 million, finishing just shy of a medal were Fox's Let's Be Cops, which ranked in $5.4 million, Relativity's The November Man, $4.2 million, Sony's When the Games Stand Tall, $3.7 million, and Universal's As Above, So Below, $3.7 million. DreamWorks Disney's The 100-Foot Journey made $3.2 million. The weekend's only new semi-wide release, Freestyles The Identical, flopped even harder than expected with $1.9 million. Its terrible reviews coped with the traditionally slow football-focused weekend made for the perfect storm that kept people away from theaters. The same weekend last year's solid second, third, and fourth place films, Lee Daniels' The Butler made $8.4 million. Spanish hit Instructions Not Included scored $8.15 million. And We Are the Millers that took in $7.6 million. All three of those would have won second place in this year. On the brighter side of Hollywood, a few potential hits are coming soon, including Liam Neeson's A Walk Among the Tombstones and Denzel Washington's The Equalizer. And as your entertainment report for Monday, September 8th, 2014, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RayMelo, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.